What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, a couple of things before we start the video. First things first, 15,000 subscribers. We've hit that 15,000 subscriber mark. I think we've actually gone past it now. I think we could be on like 15,100. But thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed recently and continues to watch the videos. Thank you so much to the old school people. There are so many old school people that I see all the time in the comments. It'll be wrong for me to name a couple because there's hundreds, so if not thousands. So thank you, everyone. The channel's growing, I think, a lot in the last few months. I think it's kind of gone from like, I don't know, 10 to 15,000 in like 2.5, 3 months. So thank you so much. Second thing, and this is a bit random, I don't know if you guys have noticed, some of you have, immediately when I put a video up, I get like 30 dislikes immediately, even before people have watched the video. It's a bit random. I spoke to YouTube and they said it's a robot. So basically someone is doing it, but it's a robot that's fucking disliking the video, which is just random. So I don't know who I pissed off. I'm guessing it might have been the Tyson Fury video or maybe a Billy Joe. So I don't know, someone, right? But so yeah, that's happening. Look, I'm not upset about getting dislikes, but don't know. I don't know. My like to dislike ratio is actually pretty good. Something like 90 something percent. So when you get a bunch of dislikes immediately, it does fuck with your head a little bit. But YouTube have told me to hide the like and dislike buttons and then it will disappear, which is what I'm doing now, which is like, I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that at all. But unfortunately, until we get rid of this fucking robot that's disliking my videos, we're going to have to kind of hide the dislike and like button. Anyway, enough of that crap. Let's talk Dereck Chisora versus Artur Szpilka. I hope I haven't butchered that name again. I know I butchered it last time. I can't lie, all the heavyweight fights we've got coming up this weekend and next weekend are bloody great matchups, you know. All of them, you could make an argument, are near 50-50 matchups. Like, no one is a clear favourite in any of them for me. No one. Joe Joyce, Bryant Jennings, nope, I don't see a clear favourite there. Dubois, Gorman, 50-50. Dave Allen, David Price, come on, who can predict that? Rivas White's a tough one. I think Rivas is a slight underdog, but that's a tough one. And this one, I think this is the hardest to predict out of all of them. I really do. I've been umming and ahhing about this one for a while, hence why it's the last video I've made. I think I've done videos about all the other matchups apart from this one because I have absolutely no idea how this fight can go. This, though, is the wrong time. If you are a top 20, top 25 heavyweight, there can't be a worse time to fucking lose. There can't be. There is so much money floating around in the heavyweight division for anyone in the top 25 right now. You do not want to lose. You do not, because an opportunity could come knocking anytime, especially if you're Dereck Chisora. Dereck Chisora is being lined up for a fight with Joseph Parker, another big money fight. So he literally has, I don't know, I'm not going to say 1 million, but he literally has high six figures waiting for him if he gets past Szpilka. He's got to. And then again, you get past Joseph Parker, there's a lot of ifs and buts in this story, but anything can happen. You know how random the Chisora story is, especially for this fight card. When looking for an opponent for Dereck Chisora, obviously the first choice was Joseph Parker. That was the first choice. That didn't happen. Guess who the second choice was? Or at least guess who was in the conversation to fight Chisora on this card? Have a guess. Have a guess before I tell you. No? No guesses? Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. was in consideration. And now look, Andy Ruiz obviously got the Anthony Joshua fight and anything can happen, right? I just wonder with Chisora, and I think he's going to have to go to the well in this fight, I really do. I just wonder, how many more fucking times can Chisora go to the well? I mean, how many more times? I thought he looked, I have to be honest with you, I thought he looked crap in his last fight. I don't hold back. I'm a big Chisora fan, but I've got to be honest with you. I thought he came back a bit early from that Dillian White KO. I would have liked to have seen him come back late 2019. Really take some time off and time to recover. I guess the problem is when you're offered six figures to fight, you take it. I don't know though. He's had a lot of tough fights, Chisora, a lot. I mean, even in the last couple of years, Carlos Takam was tough. Dillian White KO. It might not be there. It might not be there. When he has to bout in his gum shield and do something to get him out of trouble, it might just not be there. I pray it is, because again, this is the wrong time to lose, right? This is, there can't be, and I'm talking the history of boxing, there can't be in the history of boxing a time when even the guys floating around the top 20, top 25 are getting paid six figures. There can't be. There can't be. Take into inflation, all that shit. There can't be. Like Dave Allen, does Dave Allen make your top 25 people? Does he? Guarantee you Dave Allen's making six figures. And I don't just mean scraping 100,000. I'm talking like 2 or maybe even 3. Could be wrong, but I'd be shocked if he's not making that kind of money. This is the wrong time to lose as a heavyweight because it's silly money. I actually think some heavyweights aren't worth what they get paid. But hey, get paid, right? Szpilka's an interesting one. Got knocked out by Deontay Wilder. Was actually decent in that fight. Wasn't too bad. I'm sure he wobbled Deontay Wilder in that fight. It could be wrong, but I'm sure it was him. Or was it Molina? Can't remember, but I'm sure he caused Deontay Wilder some problems. And obviously he got put to sleep, I think, in round 9. He's only had 2 or 3 fights since then. And that was January 2016. And I think Chisora has had something like 7 fights, I think, since then. So there's an argument for both here. There's one that says Szpilka is inactive, right? Inactive, and he's going to come in a bit rusty. I think his last fight was against Marius Vac, split decision. That was November 2018. So again, not active. This is his first fight in 2019. But there's also an argument to say that he'll be fresh, right? He'll be fresh. Not as much wear and tear on his body. He's been able to kind of take a long time out, maybe work on some things. On the opposite side, there's an argument for Chisora which says he's had 7 fights while Szpilka has had 2 or 3. He's active. But then you could say he's worn out. He's been knocked out. He's gone to the well. Do you know what I mean? So this is why this fight for me is so difficult to call. I pray that now he's had a bit more time to work with Dave Coldwell. Now he's had a bit more time to work with Ruben Tavares. That we are going to see the best possible Dereck Chisora. And I think the best possible Dereck Chisora does beat Szpilka. But I think if Dereck Chisora comes in a bit undercooked, then I think he could lose. I really do think he could lose this one. So I'm going Dereck Chisora points. But again, like all the heavyweight fights anyway that we've got coming up in the next 2 weeks, I wouldn't be shocked if he lost. I wouldn't be shocked if he lost. But I hope he doesn't because, again, I think there's a lot of money to be made in the heavyweight division right now. And you could be 1 or 2 fights away from a big fight, a very, very big fight. So Chisora points. I don't think he's got the power to put away Szpilka. So I'm going Chisora points, 8 rounds to 4. Peace.